Last night was perfect. Though I couldn't help lying there thinking about my parents before you stirred. I gave them the release they asked for, freed myself from there's so much only they could have told me. But that's all gone now. I've got to move on, find some place for myself. I think so, yes. It's just up to me to recognize it when it's in front of me. I don't know exactly what lies ahead for me, but at least now I can choose my own path. With you at my side, if you wish. I was hoping you'd say that. Whatever lies ahead will be far less daunting if I have you. It could be just like old times. Well, hopefully not exactly like old times. I think I've had enough camping and mortal peril for one lifetime. Sorry. Thought I'd catch you in the afterglow. More than I thought would be possible, considering the short time we had. Perhaps that's wise. I'm still figuring out who I am. Unfair to ask you to commit to an unknown quantity. But after I've found some inner peace, who knows? I'll keep myself easy to find, if you wish to track me down. I see. Well, if you change your mind, I'll keep myself easy to find. Last night was an exception. I hope you understand that. The battle's won, our journey is over, and I need to take my place at Lady Shah's side. All this has been to bring me to this point. And now I'm finally here, thanks in no small part to you. Lady Shah's work is never ending. I've cleansed the ranks of her followers, leaving only the faithful, the worthy. Now is the time to spread her word. So many have suffered greatly in recent times, gripped by pain and loss. They will rush to the Dark Lady's embrace. Not everyone would share that view. But you were always different, weren't you? In another life, this may not have been a parting. It may have been the start of something. But we made our choices, and must live with what we have, and what we've lost. Still though, you know where the House of Grief is, and what lies beneath it. We all need to be unburdened, every now and again. How could I forget? A pleasant, vivid memory. But now I have to move on. You are adorable, though perhaps a little inattentive. The only reason for that would be if I had died in battle. Did I seem dead to you last night? Thought as much. That's one thing I'm good at, or so I understand. It was special, but also fleeting, as it was always going to be. Do you know why I love night orchids? In part, because they do not last. They bloom where few ever see them, and in that moment, they're perfect. Then, they return to the darkness that birthed them. I am glad for the time we had together. There is much I still cannot truly remember. But I will never forget you. Such an aggressive choice of words. Careful you don't spoil the moment. Besides, we give them a home, purpose, just like I received. A flame cannot burn without fuel, and Lady Shah's church would not thrive if everyone was happy and content. We are nothing but a dark mirror, held up to show society's failings. Perhaps you'll come to realize that in time. If you do, you know where the House of Grief is, and what lies beneath it. Of course, things could have been different, but nothing says they would have been better. I fulfilled my destiny, just as Lady Shah wished me to. That's not to say that there aren't parts I wished were different. But I suppose that's how you know when you've done something of value. When you know what you sacrificed to achieve it. Perhaps you'll come to realize that in time. If you do, you know where the House of Grief is, and what lies beneath it. Last night was perfect. Almost perfect. After everything that happened, with my parents, with Shah, I didn't think I was owed any happiness. I did things that fill me with shame now. There's at least one person who doesn't want me happy. Shah. I felt the wound last night, while you were sleeping. Like some sadistic child de-winging a fly. Thank you. Sometimes I have to remind myself of that very thing. It's nice to hear someone else say it. You and I... Our time together has been very dear to me. I had hoped maybe there might be more to come. It's not an exciting life that I lead, but I'd like you to be a part of it. I doubt I'd have anything at all if it wasn't for you. Good. Then seek me out when you have time. I'm hoping to find some place I can settle down and stay close to my parents. Somewhere quiet, where they can find peace and gaze at the night sky. I'll keep a spot for you. It'll be just like old times. I know. It was her, Shah, using the wound to hurt me, out of pure spite. Let her rage on. She may be able to hurt me, but she can't control me. Not anymore. I didn't mean it like that. You're right. I can always rely on you to say the right thing. I'm adept at dealing with old wounds, trust me. But if you don't want to, well, I won't force you. But I'll keep myself easy to find in case you change your mind. You may come to miss me yet. I was afraid for the briefest moment when I woke this morning. I didn't know where I was. I thought perhaps it had all been a dream, stopping the Absolute, saving my parents. then I realized I was in your arms. We did it. Everything's perfect. Almost, anyway. She can try to twist the knife all she likes. I know I can survive her worst. Nothing she does can sour the fact that I have my family again. The coming of age rite? Yes. I suppose I did. Though, I doubt they realized I'd get lost for years when they sent me into the woods. But I made it in the end. Last night was perfect. Saving the world is quite the aphrodisiac. Well, we may have put a stop to the absolute and rid ourselves of the tadpoles, but too many of my own concerns went untended as a result. Now I must try to rectify that. See to my own affairs. Little point in saving the world only to have no clear place in it afterwards. This is something I have to do for myself. What we shared was special to me. But I think our paths diverge from here on. But who knows? Perhaps we'll meet again. Though, hopefully not after being abducted. Be good. And if you can't be good, just don't get caught. In truth, conflicted. We may have put a stop to the absolute and rid ourselves of the tadpoles, but too many of my own concerns went untended as a result. Last night was an experience, but I don't think you've changed quite as much as some might think. I'd recognize that vigor anywhere. It sounds like the city's trying to get back on its feet already. Normal life is returning. Which means things are about to become decidedly more difficult for you. Perhaps you could wear a mask. Say you're a leper, or have taken religious vows to conceal your face. I don't know. It's hardly practical, but when has that ever stopped someone from trying to please their god of choice? I would know. It would be too much of a risk, though. One mishap, one busybody, and you could be surrounded by a mob. After what this city's been through, people will scarcely tolerate cuttlefish at the fishmonger's stall, never mind a full-blown mind flayer in their midst. Do you know what this means? All those people you saved, most of them will never know what you did. But you know. And so do I. I'll never forget. I need to get you out of here. It was difficult enough smuggling you in here covered in cloaks. It'll only get worse as normalcy returns. I think so. Yes. At least for now. You need to take care of yourself. Keep out of danger. Perhaps there is some way, some unfathomable way we can still see each other eventually. Such a thing must exist, surely. So I refuse to call this farewell. Just until next time. For a time, perhaps. Deception and concealment has been part of my life for so long. But this is different. This is beyond me. No. And I wouldn't ask you to, in truth. You're living proof of the sacrifice you made. But I fear others may not see it that way. By rights, yes. Unfortunately, though, people's fears and hatreds are not so logical. They'd cheer as they burned their savior on a pyre. I won't stand by and let that happen. You deserve to be vaunted, adored. Statues in your image should stand on every square. A whole generation of babies should be named in your honor. But it will not be so. We have. And our luck held, despite everything. But we can't rely on that forever. I won't roll the dice day after day if your life is on the line. I can't. At least, not right now. I'm sorry. After everything that happened with my parents, with Shah, I need time to myself. Time to find myself. That would call for an awful lot of discretion, you know. Enough to make even a former Sharan take pause. But, after all we've been through, I really should know better than to doubt you, shouldn't I? All right. Let's try. We've gotten this far after all. Just let me do the talking. You'd be amazed what a pretty face can get away with. I can't. Lady Shah needs me. Her children need someone to lead them. My place is with them. I suppose I should encourage independence amongst the Dark Lady's flock. Viconia held us in too tight a grip. I don't want to make that same mistake. Very well. There are many ways to serve Lady Shah. The cloister can wait. And who is to say what useful secrets I might stumble upon with a traveling companion such as yourself? Besides, I think I'm due a sabbatical. If you wish, perhaps you can still come to see me now and again. I have a hidden place close to the cloister where night orchids bloom. If you ever wish to see me, go there. May Lady Shah's darkness cloak you and shield you. You will find few friends in the light of day, but you can still count on me.